welcome to our special program today. I'm Cheryl Tapa, your host, and you're watching ETV. Today we'll be talking about a great meditation event organized by Science of Spirituality. I understand that a world-known spiritual leader is expected in the Twin Cities the weekend of July 10th and 11th to give public talks on the topics of meditation and lasting happiness. So to learn more about these events, we're here to talk with Arlene Samsel and Arvind Naik, who are actually local coordinators of Science of Spirituality. So welcome Arlene and Arvind to the show. Thanks for taking the time to come out and talk about this great event coming up.
Well, glad to be here. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, great. Arlene, could you start off talking about the event itself coming up the weekend of July 10th and 11th?
Why, yes, I'd be happy to. The event is going to be absolutely wonderful because we're having an international spiritual leader who actually has been doing talks, seminars, and conferences all over the world coming to this area. So we're very lucky because he's going to share his wisdom at the Hindu temple in Maple Grove and also at the Crown Plaza in St. Paul on that Sunday. We're expecting about 1,000 people. They'll be coming from all over the world, not just the United States and Canada. So I think that's amazing. And the thing we also want to say is that our sponsoring organization, Science of Spirituality, is a global, not-for-profit spiritual organization, and it's headed by Sant Rajinder. And we're actually from backgrounds of all sorts. We're hundreds and thousands of people from many religions, races, and cultures. And it's such a wonderful feeling to be sitting with people of all these different backgrounds and realize that we all share one thing in common, and that is the divinity of the soul that Sant Rajinder will focus on.
Well, yeah, I was going to actually ask you, what will the speaker be talking about at these public talks coming up?
Basically, we're all so busy with our jobs and families and daily living that we sometimes forget to focus on the soul, and that's basically what Sant Rajinder will be focusing on. He's going to be focusing on how to make us happy, and this happiness will be a lasting happiness. As we are busy about our jobs and things in the world, we're honestly focusing mostly on the body and the mind. And the thing about that is whatever is material does not last. So he's going to be sharing with us how we can have lasting happiness in his first talk. And in the second talk, he's going to be talking about how we can unlock the spiritual riches that sometimes we don't even realize are within ourselves. And he'll help us unfold those by learning a spiritual technique of meditation. It's a basic meditation that anyone can learn. It doesn't matter what religion you're in, your background. Anyone can do it, and it's not difficult. That doesn't mean it's easy, but it's a basically simple technique. So he's going to give us a practical technique on this meditation and also show us how we can use this in our daily lives from day to day. In the second talk, he's going to help us tap these untapped riches in our soul and make us realize that we have the spiritual wealth already inside ourselves. It's simply a matter of awakening to it and realizing it.
Wow, so he's really going to talk about meditation and how meditation can help us find more happiness and peace in our lives and tap into our souls.
Right.
Yeah.
Meditation is kind of the key. We've often heard about the third eye and, wondering about meditation, and all meditations are very, very good. They all help us. But in this one, he's going to be focusing especially on meditation of the soul and how we can unlock these spiritual wealths that are actually inside of us.
Okay. So tell us, why is it so important that viewers today come out and actually attend these talks and meet Rajinder Singh?
Well, it's not very often that we get a chance to be in the presence of someone who is a very highly spiritually evolved soul. And in this case, just being in his presence is something that I can attest to myself. When you're actually in his presence, it's like the whole place has changed. You're automatically in a place of beautiful peace, and it's almost like you say, where am I? I've been transported to almost like a little mini paradise. We could say it's like an oasis. It's an oasis in the desert of our lives. And when he helps us tap this. It's just so beautiful to see this not only in ourselves, but in others. But basically, Sant Rajinder is going to help all of us learn how to do that and how to tap this richness. And just being there is going to be wonderful. It'll charge us with a greater peace, and this will nurture our soul. And we'll learn this technique that we can walk away with and use every day for the rest of our lives. Mm-hmm. In summary, I'd say it'd be a life-changing experience just to be there.
Wow. I'm so intrigued already, Arlene. You've painted a little bit of a picture of what people can expect when they come out to these talks.
Yeah.
I'm wondering, when folks come out and either go to the Hindu Temple of Minnesota in Maple Grove or the Crown Plaza in St. Paul on Sunday, what can people expect to see and experience?
Well, I think a lot of people will be amazed to see that Science of Spirituality is such a large organization, and with our two groups here, we're basically putting this on, and it's going to make everybody realize that this is an organization and an event that's worth coming to. Just looking at the faces of everyone, it'll make us happier, and what I expect will happen if you come to these talks, you will actually walk away happier than when you came. That's actually what happens to me, and you'll have a good time seeing the faces of other people. And you'll be able to meditate and see that it really does transform your life. And to see this happening in other people too is really beautiful. So there's also going to be free literature and refreshments, and if you want to learn more about it, there's a website that you can check into. It's the public one, www.sos.org or org. So that's kind of what I think will happen when you're there. But you'll have to tell us and see how happy you are.
Okay. Very nice. Thank you for helping us understand what to expect there. Arvind, I know as Arlene said, this speaker that is spiritually evolved, and as we've learned, Sant Rajinder Singh is world-renowned as a spiritual leader. I'd like you to tell us more about him.
Oh, absolutely. I'll be happy to. So what is interesting about Sant Rajinder Singh Ji Maharaj is he has born in India, and he has grown up in a very spiritual family. His grandfather and his spiritual teacher was a spiritual master, and then his father was also a spiritual master. He was an employee of Government of India. As he grew up in this family, he was encouraged to practice the meditation and spiritual way of living. At the same time, he was asked to excel in the studies and excel in the careers. So he went to one of the best schools in India, in IIT in Chennai. And then when he came to the United States, he also did his master's from IIT Chicago. So what is intriguing about that is that he has mastered both spirituality and the education, the science that a normal person dream of. What also helps him to put these teachings of meditation in a very logical and a concise manner to reach out to everyone. Those who understand science and those who understand spirituality and faith, he can reach out to all groups equally well and put this teaching in a very logical manner. So that is what impressed me about him. One more thing, he has been a scientist in AT&T Bell Lab for 20 plus years, and he has a very good life, and he has a family, his wife and two great children. Both are becoming doctors. So he demonstrates, or he shows by leading an example, that one could practice spirituality, one could practice meditation, excel in spirituality, at the same time excel in the normal responsibilities of a human being, and present a good example for all of us.
Right. So Sant Rajinder Singh has excelled both professionally and spiritually. Yes. He's evolved, and it serves as a really nice role model for, I guess, the rest of us, that we can create a balance in our lives also.
Absolutely. And he, one more thing he does is nowadays he's traveling around the world. He has been to Europe, Africa, Australia, South America. He has been recognized for his contribution in the field of education. Especially for the children. There are some Darshan Academy colleges. In South America, he has been very recognized for and given a doctorate for his contribution in education. He has been recognized by the United Nations. He has also met Pope John Paul and Dalai Lama. He has really done a lot of work in the field of spirituality and education also at the same time. So.
I've heard about Rajinder Singh being a part of this Human Unity conference as well.
Yeah, he leads Human Unity conferences in Delhi, India. They're attended by a number of spiritual leaders and political leaders around the world. And yes, Human Unity is the core for the mission of science and spirituality.
Tell us some more about his publications, Arvind.
As you can imagine, he has wonderful books authored by him. One of them has been a bestseller in New York Times. He has published 3 books that I remember very well: Empowering Your Soul Through Meditation, Inner and Outer Peace Through Meditation, and Spiritual Thirst. And those are wonderful books that they're available at Borders, Barnes & Nobles, Amazon. He has published numerous other books in other languages, like in Hindi and Punjabi. Also, he has reached out to these other languages. So he has written a number of books.
Mm-hmm. Very nice. Arlene, could you tell us more about the Science of Spirituality organization itself?
Yes, the Science of Spirituality organization is an international organization, and the forum that we use is to try to spread meditation throughout the world, and we help people understand how to get personal transformation through meditation and growing spiritually and ethically and things like that. And the whole goal of it, I think, could more easily be expressed in this story about a father who was trying to babysit his son. And the father had, wouldn't you know it, like all of us, deadlines, and he was working on his computer. And he was, every few minutes, his son would come, "Daddy, Daddy, will you play with me?" And of course, Daddy was thinking, "Oh, what do I do? Because I'm so busy. I got so much to do. I got to get this project done, you know, by midnight tonight." "Oh, I know what I'll do. Okay, I'll come up with a little puzzle." So he looked in a magazine and found a huge picture of the world. So he tore it all up in pieces and threw it in a box, and they said, "Okay, now here's what you can do. You can make this puzzle for me, okay?" And he thought, "Oh, he's going to leave me alone for a couple hours now." So father went back to the computer, and 5 minutes later, "Daddy, can you play now? I got the puzzle all finished." So he looked at it and he said, "How can this be?" Because what he did was he took this huge map and threw it all in tiny pieces, and he thought, "No way is this going to get done in a hurry." So the child said, "No, I've got it all done, Daddy." He looked at it. "How can this be?" Well, he turned it over, and here there was a picture of a child on the back. So he just simply took the picture of the child. And so the moral of the story here is simply that, you know, when the whole person is together, and the only way we can be whole is if we're nurturing our soul as well as our body and our mind, only then can we promote peace and unity and love and all these things that we want in the world. So I would say in a nutshell, that's the forum of Science of Spirituality, is to help each one of us become whole. And we come whole by contacting this peace and this love inside and this joy. And when each one of us has this peace, then the whole world will be transformed into this peace. So we have many programs worldwide which actually share this, and this can be done in the form of classes and workshops and many different conferences such as this. This is an example of our forum right now, what's happening. So we have many, many projects that help us with this.
Okay. So it's a worldwide organization. Sant Rajinder Singh travels all over the globe.
Yeah.
How many local chapters or centers are there of Science of Spirituality around the world?
Well, I'm glad you asked. I forgot to mention that. There's actually close to about 2,000 centers, and it happens that there's 2 right here, you know, that we're heading, which is why we're having this event here. But they're all over the world, and in these centers we all focus on the same thing, which is about meditation and how to grow in this and how to have an actual experience in this. It isn't just an idea. For us, this is a real experience. I mean, you can actually see light and have these wonderful treasures inside. So our international center is in Delhi, and we have a national center in the Chicagoland area, which is in Naperville, Illinois, and we go there many times, and that's a great help. And you can actually look that up on the website too, www.sos.org.
Wow, very interesting. Now, if listeners, viewers right now, Arvind, are interested in learning more about science of spirituality, and they came out to some local programs, what are the basic teachings that they would learn about?
Absolutely. So the science of spirituality focuses on some of the basic teachings. Our fundamental teachings involve four things. One is that we are not just the body, we're not just the mind, we are truly a spirit. And this organization fundamentally believes that through meditation, one can realize the true human potential. One can realize who we truly are. In order to practice meditation, this organization teaches a simple technique of meditation. This technique is known to be the surest way of understanding our true spiritual nature. It focuses on the third eye and concentrate here and experience the inner light and sound. So through the meditation, through a regular practice of meditation, and through some fundamental things like ethical living and just living a nice, happy life, truthful life, and practicing meditation regularly, one can go within, one can experience this, the true self through the meditation. And the organization helps us doing that. So this is a very simple technique. It's universal, it's open to all religions. Everyone, no matter what, whether if you're smaller, younger, woman, man, from any nationality, it doesn't matter. As long as we are human being, we all can invert within, is what the simple teaching of this organization is.
Okay, and I know there's so much, you know, that we've been hearing about in media, in research, about the benefits of meditation. It's becoming more and more popular.
Right.
I think these days people are turning towards more spiritual practices like yoga and meditation. Maybe you could talk specifically about those benefits of meditation, Arvind.
Absolutely. The meditation's benefits are very well known nowadays. You can see a lot of people going to the yoga centers and practicing meditation. There are many techniques available out there. Any technique of meditation will give you a few benefits, fundamental benefits, and it can be divided into three benefits majorly. One experiences the benefit at the physical level. The physical level is a better health, and that comes because of, you know, there are a number of diseases that are caused by the stress of the day-to-day lives, the hypertension. The hustle and bustle of life creates an impact on our body. So through regular meditation, one can stay in a calm mode and help us come out of this stress mode. And relaxing and being in a stress-free helps us being healthy. It's an indirect effect of the meditation is the better health. So that is one. The second is at the mental level. Now we all want to concentrate better. We want to focus more. There are a lot of distractions, so the meditation helps us increase our focus, increase our attention span. It helps us focus a little bit more, increase our efficiency at the workplace or professionally. So there are a number of benefits that you can see that you are able to do whatever work you do in a much better way. So these are the mental level. At the emotional level also, one can experience stability in emotions. Essentially, you know, life throws at many situations at us, and it is important to stay equipoised through different situations. And through meditation, one can experience emotional stability. You know, one can stay equipoised. They are not affected by various challenges that comes in our life. So that is an emotional benefit. At the spiritual level, I think the most important for me is to identify yourself as a true being and who we are, and going within and experiencing the light and sound of God, and to experience ourselves as we truly are. That opens up a new world of knowledge and wisdom, which is a beautiful experience. So I think that's one more important benefit of meditation. The technique that we learn, the Jyoti meditation, that covers all these benefits. And a lot of guidance is available in this organization about this meditation.
Very nice. Well, let me ask you, how have you personally benefited from meditation?
Oh, that's interesting. So there's a small story about myself. A few years back, about 6 years back, I was just looking for some way to relax, to find out more about myself, to how to be successful. And I was a little spiritually inclined. And my wife had me, you know, she was worried about me because if I was engaging always in this research about spirituality, So she felt that, okay, one day this man is going to leave me. And she was always worried. But when I came into contact with science and spirituality, I found a unique way in which you can balance your normal responsibilities. You do not have to leave your responsibilities, your family, your job in pursuit of God or in pursuit of spirituality. And when I told my wife about what I found, she was very happy. In fact, she supported me at that time. When I started meditating, in a few months, she noticed some changes in me. And it told me that when she told me that, oh, I see a lot of changes in you. And that has a great impact on her, that, you know, if meditation can change a person like me, then it's definitely, you know, some benefit in that. And after a few months, even she also started following it, and she practiced meditation. Now she is a very devoted volunteer of the science and spirituality. And not only that, we also have our children practice meditation now. So in last few years, we have been extremely lucky to get a lot of benefits of meditation. Our life has changed tremendously. So we feel that it has brought a lot of benefits to us, a lot of transformation. We feel good about doing meditation. We tell everybody, our friends and other families as well, that meditation is really useful. So that's a personal transformation there, right there. We are very happy about learning this.
So you have experienced a lot of changes, and amazing that your kids are also meditating with you. Nice.
Yes, absolutely, and they're doing it in the studies so far.
Nice. Arlene, how about you? How have you benefited from meditation and being a part of this organization?
Well, I remember when I was a little girl, now that was just 20 years ago, you know. Anyway, my mother used to have this little saying when things got really kind of busy and a little bit crazy sometimes. And she'd say, now remember, Arlene, you just have to find the eye of the hurricane. And I said, well, what do you mean, the eye of the hurricane? She says, well, you know, there can be all this turmoil going round and around and around and around, but right in the eye of the hurricane, it's completely still, and there's nothing in there. It's just a place of quiet.